In this video, I'm going to teach you how to tie the classic Griffith gnat. This is a simple dry fly pattern that imitates a lot of small bugs and does great all throughout the entire year. For this fly, we're going to be tying it on a size 18 dry fly hook, and I'm going to be using dark olive thread. To start, like any other fly, you're going to want to get a nice thread base on the shank of the hook. You don't want it to be too thick because this fly is going to be mostly dubbing, so I'm going to go down and back a couple wraps and get this fly started. Once you've gotten a nice thread base laid, we're going to get some hackle. For this fly in particular, I'm going to be using a very small gray saddle hackle. You're going to want to get real thin, small hackle piece that is going to have small tips. At the end of this video, I'm going to end up trimming this one up a little bit, but the smallest you can get, the best. Once you have a good feather picked out, you'll want to strip a few of the barbs off of the stem so you can get a good base to tie in. And that's what I'm doing right here is I'm tying in the tip of the saddle hackle. You'll want to do a couple loose wraps and then cinch it down tightly. After you've tied your hackle in, we're going to want to get a nice dubbing noodle going. For this fly in particular, I'm going to be using a black dry fly dubbing. You're going to want to make sure to have a nice thin dubbing noodle. From here, we're going to start wrapping the base of the fly, starting with a nice tapered body, thin in the back. And we'll want to give it a good taper in the middle to be a little thicker, and then finish off thin at the head. Once you've dubbed the entire body, it's now time to finish the fly up with a hackle. I always recommend using a nice pair of hackle pliers because it makes life so much easier. From here, we're going to want to do 5 to 6 touching wraps with the hackle, giving nice spacing in between to give this fly a really good profile and also make this fly float amazingly on the surface. As you come up to your last wrap, you're going to want to tie in the hackle, make sure to get it nice and secure, and then wrap it with a few loose and then tight thread wraps, and then you can trim off the excess. After you've gotten your hackle secured and tied in, you're ready to finish this fly up. You want to pull back a little bit of the hackle, make a nice thread base for the head, and then all that's left to do is whip finish and trim up a little bit, and this fly is ready to fish. Again, this is a staple. The Griffith gnat works all year round, imitates a lot of little bugs, and I highly recommend trying it out in your box. The last thing to do is just trim up a little bit. Make sure you get the fly a nice small profile body. Like I said at the beginning, the smaller hackle feather that you can find and use, the better it's going to be. But here I just trim the fly up, get it down to size, and then it's all ready to go. Thanks for watching, and I hope you give this fly a tie.